We tend to like to focus on the mid market, so 1,000 employees below, $1 billion below. We do have a couple above that threshold again, but that's more like, hey, it's a 6 to 12 month, sales process versus a 1 to 2 month process. And again, I just think right now the mid market is the people that can take the most advantage of these situations because they can adapt really, really quickly. Where I mean, just think about how security and IT clash on every single decision at a global organization. I know because I've lived in those organizations for 15 plus years in my career. And so that's where it's something like OpenClaw or these other little agentic things that completely change the thing, or even Claude Code or Codex. That's just something that a mid-market company would say, hey, I trust that my guys in this position are going to use this tool to the best of their ability without putting the company at risk, and they just give it to them. Where there's a 6 to 12 month approval process for compliance and security and legal reasons at a large organization. I just think the smaller companies are going to be way more nimble, and you're going to have 5, 10 person company, $1 billion companies within the next 12 to 18 months all over the place because of these tools. Yeah, again, it's assumptions, right? Assumptions kill. Just assuming that you think someone needs a product, or assuming that someone's ready for a product or service. That's why we don't. I tell people all the time, we're more like if McKinsey and Company were a bunch of nerds, that's us. We go in as like, what problem are you trying to solve? Don't assume you know how to solve that problem just because you solved a similar problem for another customer in the same industry, because that's the whole point of AI. Is it's specific to the context of that organization. And if you have two construction and engineering companies, they overlap on about 70% of processes and procedures and things like that. But that last 30%, that's a massive chasm of context that you don't have and you don't know. And so just assumptions are what really kill. And it just took some time for me and my team to realize, like, hey, we don't always have the right answers, so shut up and listen. That's the big thing. It's just, we literally go on site, we record, and we just say, what do you do? What's your process from start to finish? And then obviously we ask qualifying questions as they go along, but for the most part, we just let them talk 80 or 90% of the time. And we're just ingesting that in with, our Microsoft Copilot or Plot or one of these other devices. And we're what would take us months, like outputting what their process flow would look like, we can do in hours, right? And instead of sitting at a whiteboard and for weeks with them working out the process flow, you can actually accelerate that process in a matter of hours or days now. I say don't buy products off the shelf from Silicon Valley. All these big solutions that are being built, they're Swiss Army knives. They're SAPs. Like, you don't need an SAP in this world, right? You don't need a giant ERP. You don't need all these massive solutions. Think catered solutions. Think cater a solution around a specific team or around a specific division. Don't think that you're going to buy one solution that's going to work for the entire organization. I personally think that, especially if you're in an enterprise and you're an executive in an enterprise, empower your people within your teams and your silos to build solutions that work specific to them. You can provide the frameworks and say, hey, we're a Anthropic house, so we're going to use Anthropic models and we're going to do Anthropic things, and build those SOPs, build those PRDs, and then share cross departmentally and say, hey, this is how we build it, how we can find it then. I think, again, I was a junior executive at a global investment bank. I went to the same golf courses and tournaments and stuff, and they're like, hey, you guys, this worked for us, this should work for you. You're starting at the wrong place, man. Go talk to Linda in accounting and Bob in HR. Like, that's the people we need to be talking to. Nobody knows your business better than the people running your business every single day. And if you're not talking to them before you make a decision of this magnitude, that's where you're failing.